Well, in the western city of Lviv, which has been relatively unscathed throughout the conflict, missile strikes have killed at least 7 people. Our correspondent Dan Johnson has been to the site of one of the attacks, and he sent us this report.
This is how the people of Lviv found out their city wasn't as safe as they thought. Missile strikes from the clear skies of a bright morning, hitting buildings right in the city and bringing the conflict closer to the west. An industrial unit was hit. Firefighters filmed their efforts to put out the blaze and save the lives of the people who were inside, having their morning coffee before work when the missile landed. The families of those caught up in this couldn't keep back. Anatoly and Maria heard the news, tried to call their only son Yuri, but got no answer. He was 26.
He was going to marry, and now we have to bury him.
What's your message to the people who did this?
It has not been done by humans. Humans cannot do such things. They are not humans. They are barbaric invaders.
The crater gives you some sense of the power of this explosion, and I actually saw the missiles this morning flying across the city skyline and then hitting. And this is one of the places that's been devastated. It's a car garage, a service centre, the place that you get tyres fitted, but it is completely devastated, and there is so much clearing up to do here. And that's to say nothing of the loss of life. 4 of the workers here were killed this morning. And Ukrainians believe this is a reminder from Russia that it still has firepower and is prepared to use it.
We're told the missiles were fired from aircraft in the region of the Caspian Sea, a long way away. They shook the whole neighbourhood. Valya's lived just across the road all her life.
Our windows were shattered. Everybody was frightened. We did not know what to do. We started praying. We didn't know whether to stay or whether to flee.
Local officials said there were 3 strikes on military warehouses, in addition to the garage. Across the city, 7 people died and 11 were injured.
What we see today in Ukraine is genocide, which is purposefully committed by the aggressor, who kills civilians. 7 civilians had plans for life. Today, their lives have ended.
Once again, Ukrainian rescue teams are carrying out the grimmest tasks, passing on the worst news to families. If anyone needed it, this was an early morning reminder that this country, all of it, and all its people are still at war and still under threat.
Dan, one key thing to remember is that, of course, it's across the western border that arms are reaching Ukrainian forces, and Russia needs to disrupt that supply.
Absolutely, yes. Lviv's become an important staging post on the route for those weapons and that heavy armour coming into Ukraine. And there are signs that at least one of those missiles that hit the city this morning may have been destined for the Ukrainian railway network. Now, we're also hearing that there are people caught up in this attack today who were refugees fresh into this city, people from the east who'd fled the intensifying conflict further into the country. There was a hotel that was caught up this morning with its windows smashed. We know there were families there taking shelter who were injured in the attack. And there are also people who've been coming into Lviv from other countries, from Poland, from other places, thinking that it was safe to spend a few days here, maybe being reunited with friends or family. They've all had a reminder that it is not as safe here as they thought it was. And it's also worth remembering that we're just 50 miles here from the Polish border. That is the European Union, and it is NATO. And these strikes have reminded everybody that wherever you are in Ukraine, whoever you are not safe from the airstrikes.
Indeed. Dan, many thanks. Dan Johnson there live in Lviv in western Ukraine.